It's called the oldest trade in the business when it comes to sex work. And why I'm getting at this, why I'm saying this is because you notice lately that a lot of black men are traveling overseas for sex tourism and then they being clowned by other black men. I've noticed it. I really have. And my thing is, a lot of black men don't even realize how subconscious that is. And these be the same black men who supposedly be telling you to, do you, don't get into relationships, blah, 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 red pill this, red pill that, right? A lot of them be telling you that nonsense. And I'm not even saying it like, oh my God, it's bad. No, I'm saying it like they'll tell you that, but then they will clown you because you start to see that a lot of it's nonsense to them. They just get online and they'll tell you this whole bravado, stand your ground, be an alpha male, do all of these things, right? Right? Which you should be doing. You should stand your ground and try to strive to be a take charge man, but not everybody's going to be an alpha man. Now, am I saying just give up and just go all out? No. The fact is, like I said, it's the oldest trade in the business. It is. A lot of people say that, and I start to look back on it like it's true. It's true. So you telling the man to look but don't taste, or don't get into a relationship, but you ignoring the fact that he, like any other human, female or male, have desires and dreams, and you tell him to totally put that to the back burner and focus just on you. No, when I say focus on you, I'm telling you to make that a priority. But I would be disingenuous, I would be a fool, and I will be very, very ignorant to tell you to just do that. No, we need to actually have a outlet. And a lot of men don't have a girlfriend. They don't have a friend with benefit, because don't that go against the whole thing of being a monk? What, do you want them to be a monk, or do you want them to put themselves as a priority? Meaning, sex is great and everything, but don't get no relationship over it. Don't do this over it. Don't lose yourself or your money over it, right? Yeah, that's the message you're giving them. But you're not helping when they find an outlet that's within their means to have a release, to be intimate, to scratch that itch. Now, I'm not saying just totally strive to live that life and waste all your money on meaningless sex. See, it's a paradox. It's a paradox. You gotta travel wisely in between that. If relationships were more of a positive thing for men, there wouldn't be a trade. Sex work wouldn't be a trade. You know that. And I call it that, even though it's not official, it's illegal in a lot of states, blah, 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 this, that, and the fourth. I'm saying there's a need for it. And don't sit here and think that it's just men who are seeking it. Yeah, we seek it a lot. And you know why we seek it a lot more than women do? Because women, I don't give a damn how you look. There's always some guy out there that's ready to put you in the bed and take you down. And you know that's the truth. The problem is a lot of you women know this and you use it to your advantage, and it's at the detriment of men 95% of the time. So he meets that 5% that's about, okay, this is this price, this is that price. Okay, let's do this. You got this, you got that, or it's boom, 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 done. Till next time. See you later, baby. And that's how a lot of them are. The thing is that you got to show a lot of men that they have They can't get addicted to that type of lifestyle because it can be reckless and it can be detrimental to their life. But meanwhile, so can a negative relationship. This is why I say it's a paradox. But to sit here and actually try to just shame a man for finding something that works for him, which is actually done in a way that it's not detrimental to his finances or to his life, his livelihood. And you're gonna tell him he's weak, he's a fool for going elsewhere. Now, I wouldn't go elsewhere just for that. There's a lot of places in this world I haven't seen, which is about so many places. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you, oh, you weak, you this, you a sucker, you can't get your girl. Look, I'm here in America, and I can't find me a relationship to save my life when I was trying hard. Why? Because preference in men aren't accepted well. Meaning that we can't have a preference. We got all these movements about body positivity and fat shaming. That's not because other women are fat shaming women. They do that. They've been doing that. But it's not their feedback. It ain't women that get these women upset. They can't compete with women who are more desirable. They can't compete with them. So they change the narrative. They change the narrative and make it sound like, see guys, your preference is too much. You asking of too much of us. And that's complete and utter bullshit. Asking you to be healthy is asking too much of you? Are you serious? This is how I feel about it. Are you serious? But no, you want to clown and shame the man who's going and doing him. Now, you don't have to be the type that go and do that. But do not sit here and pretend like that type of hardship ain't felt by especially Black American men. Men in general, but I'm talking about who I am. All right? Don't sit here and act like that type of hardship, unnecessary drama, a dissension between Black women and Black men. You don't act like none of that's happening. It is. It is. And a lot of these women they don't know what good men is. A good man to them is lame. Oh, because you call yourself a good man. You call yourself educated. And just because you have one fucking degree doesn't make you educated. Okay? I have a state certified license as an emergency medical technician. Does that make me a doctor? Does that make me better than a doctor? Does that make me better than a nurse? No. Okay? Even if a nurse got all that stuff and got that level and stuff, oh, you got a high paying job. Yes, that's great. But does that make you better? Does that make you smarter than me overall? No, it doesn't. Okay? So that's the problem. Distribution of so many different things. Women think they're smarter, they think they're this, they think they're that. And we don't argue with women about that. Let them just believe what they want to believe. And you do you, and you live your life. If a woman's telling you you're a blue collar man and you don't make enough for her, she ain't the one for you. She's not. Don't fight it. Stop crying about it. My problem with a lot of women out here today in Black America is that a lot of them overhype themselves. I'm as humble as pie. I don't overhype myself. This is why I always say my most basic my desires for a woman, ranging for her being healthy, having a good character, being attractive, are not ridiculous. They're not ridiculous at all. Because that character is important. But I don't date just for character. I don't make love to your character. I'm not one of those people who call myself sapiosexual and all these other different sexuals. I'm attracted to intelligence, blah, blah, blah. Intelligence ain't blowing your back out, lady. A guy with and a nice size and a good sex drive is blowing your back out. But a lot of women don't believe, oh, he's lame. He ain't about that life. Look at him. He got so much swagger. Look at him. He got his pants hanging down, got his hand in his pants. I love it. He got a gun. He can protect me. You heard what that stupid female said, that black female? Ooh, he can protect me? He gonna bring me to the trap house? You hear that ignorance? And people be like, oh, that's not all black. We know it's not all black women. But there's a lot of urban black women who believe that. And a lot of these women become mothers, and then they teach their daughters to be that way. They teach their sons that they ain't worth ish unless they are about that life, be it directly or indirectly. They teach them that. And a lot of brothers out here do not want to procreate with those types, but yet they need to get that nut. So I don't knock a person who seeks that type of life. I don't at all. If I was a police officer and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna tell you this, don't let me see y'all out here doing that. Like, so go someplace else. I couldn't be a police officer. That'd be one of the most ignored things I could do. I cannot control anybody from that. You know what you're getting into as a man or woman living that life. Yeah, I know what y'all getting into. I can't stop you from stopping. You got to be safe. I cannot stop that. I don't want to stop it. I think if there was a lot more positive outlets, if a lot of these men out, a lot of men out here are just not just they're not deviants. Like, they're not like just deviants. A lot of them are, and they have repressed sexual. They just got repressed sexual energy. I'm not saying he just needs to not know. Some, like I said, some of them are just reprehensible human beings. Then there's just some out there who just are sex deprived, and this is all they do. They don't have a criminal background. They don't have that. They have a good life. They just don't have no one in their life to release that to. So rather than be all balled up and just go nuts, they shouldn't be shamed over that. They shouldn't be in the same category as that sexual deviant. That sexual deviant is a monster and needs to be handled accordingly. But a regular everyday man with no criminal record should not be even in the same sentence as someone like that. But this is what the mindset of a lot of black women and men have. This is the mindset that a lot of them have when it comes to people who employ the oldest trade in the biz. This is the mindset of that. I'm like, yo, I'm at this point where I can't. This is why I don't have no dog in the fight when it comes to the whole thing about sex tourism. But don't sit here on social media and on YouTube and talk as if you are high and mighty, and then you get exposed as being such, and then you get exposed as being a sex tourist, or you talking about how a guy should do this, a guy should do that, he should be this, and then we see your wife. Like, what's the guy name? The one that had a problem with Kevin Samuels. I forgot his name. I really don't fucking care. Anyway, you seen the struggle Becky he's with? You seen his wife, his girlfriend, whoever she is? He over here telling you, you look at y'all out here going in Brazil and stuff, and then you seen down there his wife is basic and overweight. This is why I'm telling you, a lot of guys would tell you some stuff because a lot of them want to be in the shoes that you're in. And a lot of them who tell you some stuff and call you out for that, a lot of them are brothers who hold themselves to a high standard. Shout out to those who hold themselves to that high standard. You know who you are. You hold yourself to the high standard. Me, I ain't no goddamn saint. I'm going to tell you this now. I'm at this point now that it's become a blur. My late 20s and my early 30s has been a blur. It's been so much of that shit popping off in my past. But I'm telling you now, when it comes to relationships, and that's all happened in between relationships. See, you gotta be smart about it. If you're gonna be doing you, condoms, that's why I don't have any children. I have no STIs. I have none of that. Why? Because I only desire at certain times. If some people can't live their life without it. You see what they trying to paint the picture of that man in Georgia that killed the 8 people? He had a sex addiction. Yeah, my ass you did. Maybe he did, but you don't kill your addiction by killing people. And no, you're a sick bastard. You're a deviant. You're a monster. And you know why? Because you were about to go to Florida and do the same thing down there. And people are like, oh no, see, it wasn't racially motivated. 2 Hispanic people got killed. He killed 6 Asian people. But go ahead, by all means. Try to paint black people as the face of Asian hate crimes. I'm not buying it. I'm not going for it. I'm not. And it's funny, a lot of my friends who are of Asian descent and don't believe that a lot of this is going on, a lot of them might just use it for avocation, but a lot of them know the numbers are being exaggerated, and it's predominantly people of Filipino descent. I find that strange. And what's the expression that they use about Filipinos when it comes to Asian? How they're the so-called white people of the Asian culture? That's some messed up stuff. They make that sound bad, and I take offense to that. Because that makes them sound bad. Making us sound bad makes them sound bad. And I take offense to it because you making me sound bad. When the black, what? Don't nobody understand what that means as a black person in America? When another nationality within a race of people are being called the blacks of Asians. Like, come on now. Come on. Nobody see the negative overtures and tones in that. That's disgusting. Just because a lot of them are very kind, and a lot of them have been kind to me for years. My mother, when she was a nurse, me working through the hospital system for as long as I have, for almost a decade. My past relationships with women from the Philippines. Yeah, it's just I don't buy it. Like this whole thing lately, and it all started as if there is some sort of battle for I don't know, victim culture. I don't want to be. I'm not a slogan. I'm not a victim. So this is why I never really got with the whole thing about Black Lives Matter. No, Black lives do matter. And when they say that, yes, and that means it matters just as much as anybody else's life here in America. Not that our lives only matter over everybody else's. Fuck you. You know, I hate when people say that. But still in all, I know how corrupt BLM is. I know who it was started by. And I know that they don't like black men. They don't like black men. They only use our death as martyrdom. I know that for a fact. This is why I don't mess with them. I understand what the original message was about. Like, stop treating us like shit. We just as important as people, but you don't find me like, you know what? I'm gonna be out there with the shirt on, wearing the mask and all that. No, my thing is, do not treat me like dog shit because I'm black. So I already know that message. I get it. It's just that I don't follow that organization because that organization are a bunch of Marxist men hating black females. It is. That's the three founding members of it. And then the Martin Luther King twerk. The one out there in the street with the chick busting it wide open in the street twerking. That's disgusting. This is the shit that goes on. You think I want to be associated with that? See, here is the plight of a black American man who isn't a walking stereotype, yet he doesn't want to go elsewhere because he is a black man. This is the paradox that people like me go through. I'm a black man, and I'm proud of being a black man. I have no problems with my identity. I'm sitting here as I do this, I'm looking in the mirror, and I'm looking at, I look fucking good for my age. I love my genetics. I've been doing well. I'm great. Not one change in the pigment of my skin is going to make the difference. I don't care. Make me darker. I would love it. I love going out in the summer, bro. And if I can go and I can tan evenly on the beach, I love that brown color I am. I love it. I have no problems with it. I've been acceptant of my skin color and my race since I was a child. My only problem is there's a lot of things that I would like to change about my health. That's what drives me. Staying healthy, trying to get healthier as I grow older. But as for being black, no. That's here to stay. I'm fine with it. If you don't like it, you know what you can do. Go fuck yourself. I've never been, I just know. I wish I was never born there. See, no, I see the problems every day in the black neighborhood because I live in one. It pisses me off. It really do. Because we have a bunch of people that when you try to show and prove, you try to clean up, you try to do this in your face. They look at you like, oh, you think you better than, you see the generational curse that goes on, that mindset that they never get out of when you want better, where like I showed you on my last video in this series, how there's two garbage cans within your vicinity, and you decide to just litter all around you because it's public and it ain't your home. You see that. You see how that enrages me. But I feel outnumbered. I really do. See, doing these podcast videos really helped me just talk. Just really talk. But you know what? Leading back to where I started this video at, you know what really helped me? The oldest trade in the business, and I ain't got no problem with saying that. It really has. I still put food in my refrigerator, feed my pit bulls, and able to cover all my bills without struggle and stay in shape. See, everybody has their vices. This is my problem, and I'm gonna finish this video up. This is my problem with people like Derek Jackson. We've known for years that nigga ain't about shit. We've known that. Especially when the DM was exposed of him calling a black woman a bitch and this or that nature, and it was just overlooked. It was like, oh, he's telling me what I want to hear, so just because you had a problem with it, that must mean you deserved it. That's probably the mindset a lot of these females had. And my friend Noni, that sister says something which I've been trying to tell people for years. And many other black men have been trying to tell people for years. You cannot trust anybody who don't have any flaws or any vices. And this is how we know you're selling a image. You're selling a pipe dream to women. And she even said that these women are vulnerable. And she got a lot of fact there. But my thing is, I can only accept vulnerability as an excuse but so much. You know why I can only accept it as an excuse, but so much? It's because not all of these women are vulnerable. Women, especially black women, like being told what they want to hear. They really do. A lot of them like being told what they want to hear, and he's the type of guy. And then you have the vulnerable ones who can't, nobody's telling them anything that's holding them accountable. So they hear a guy telling them, girl, there's nothing wrong with you. You are strong. You ain't ready to deal with a independent black woman or a single mother. They are not for little boys. You know, who, what? Are you fucking kidding me? So now you putting you putting a female who's divorced after so many years of marriage, all her children by one man. You putting single mothers who have 4 different babies by 4 different men in the same category as a divorced or a widowed woman. And you got the nerve are you really serious? And you wonder why a lot of guys look at you like, you a simp, bro. You selling a simp. And a lot of them start to realize he ain't no simp. He is a bullshit artist. But he's pushing simp culture because women like to idolize over simps. They want simps to take care of them while they out fucking Pookie and Ray Ray on the down low. Now, I'm not saying all, but I'm saying a good amount of them do. I'm not saying all, a good amount of them do. These the same women that's calling certain black men educated lames. This is what they do. You don't get ran through, get stretched out, get bloated and overweight, and then you want to come and look for a guy to clean it up. And then a lot of women will say, I've heard black women say this. Package deal? A package deal? You mean a package prepared by another man? I'm supposed to just open that and just accept what's in there. What is it, surprise mechanics? Was it a Kinder egg? The fuck out of here, man. And he was selling all this bullshit to them, making it sound like their bad decision making wasn't the reason why they're single. He was sitting there telling them this, making them feel this way. And I'm like, you are full of dog shit. You are full of just straight up just dog, horse, and bull. Just full of it. And I won't be surprised if there be a certain group of women who desire him more because you find out he ain't shit. He a cheater. A lot of women like that stuff. Now, unfortunately, when he lose the women who thought he was virtuous, and he talking about God and this, that, and the fourth, I'm like, please, the fuck out of here, man. Get out of here with that. God, I said I gave myself to God, but I didn't walk with him. Come on, man. Come on. Don't even start with that. You know how much trifling shit goes on in black churches? Please cut the shit. You know, I don't hear you talking about Bishop Eddie Long and what he was doing to men and tampering with their booty holes. No, I don't hear you talking about that, do you? No. Church ain't a place of sainthood, especially in Black America. It's a place where a lot of reverends take your money, fund their lifestyles, and tell single women it's all good. Come to church. You need Jesus in your life. Meanwhile, you're plotting on them and taking their money because they like being told what they want to hear. I don't see him no different from a priest. Santeria. You know that Pusha T song. Anyway, y'all, because I'm a Fury, this podcast is over. Peace.